Hi, friends. Welcome back to the show. It's Jessica here, and I'm so happy you're tuning in with me today. I want to kick things off with a little story that's honestly kind of embarrassing, but also kind of perfect for today's topic. A few years ago, I was traveling in Spain, and I remember walking into a cafe, trying so hard to order a simple coffee. I had been studying Spanish for months. I knew the words. I thought I was prepared. But the moment I opened my mouth, my brain did this thing. It translated every single word from English to Spanish, slowly, awkwardly. And then I said something like, I wish to drink hot, black. And then I panicked and just pointed at someone else's cup like that. The barista smiled, probably thinking, she's trying. And in that moment, I realized I wasn't thinking in Spanish. I was thinking through English. And there's a huge difference. So let me ask you this. Have you ever tried to speak English, but you feel like your brain is stuck in your native language? Like there's this delay between thought and speech because you're translating word by word? You're not alone. We've all been there. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. How to think in English without translating. Why does this matter? Because fluency isn't just about knowing vocabulary or grammar rules. It's about thinking in the language. When you stop translating and start thinking directly in English, everything gets faster, smoother, more natural, and most importantly, more confident. So today, I want to walk you through how you can train your brain to actually think in English, step by step. I'll share what works, what doesn't, and what to do when your brain just wants to go back to your native language. Let's dive in. So let's start with the first big idea. Thinking in English starts with small words. One of the biggest mistakes we make is thinking we have to form full sentences or deep thoughts in English right away. But think about how kids learn language. They start with simple labels. So instead of saying, "This is a cup," and translating it from your native language, just look at the cup and think, cup. That's it. One word. No grammar, no pressure. Your brain starts to build associations between the object and the English word, not the translation. This is called direct mapping, and it's the foundation of thinking in any new language. You can do this with everything. Door, phone, sky, cold, tired. Start labeling your world silently in English. Have you tried this? Look around your room right now. Can you name 5 things in English instantly? Next up, narrate your day like a movie. Seriously, pretend you're the voiceover in your own life. You don't have to be poetic or complicated. Just say what you're doing in simple English. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. I'm so sleepy today. This trains your brain to stay in English mode, especially during repetitive tasks. You can even make it fun. Give yourself a dramatic inner monologue. And now, she enters the kitchen, unaware of the chaos the blender is about to cause. Sound silly? It is, but it works. It keeps your brain in the flow of English without having to stop and translate. Now let's talk about a sneaky problem. Perfectionism. One reason we translate is because we're afraid of making mistakes. We want the sentence to be perfect. So we pause, think in our language, translate, then say it. But guess what? Mistakes are not only okay, they're essential. I once had a listener DM me that she refused to speak in English unless she could say it perfectly. And that made her silent. She said she felt stuck. My advice? Embrace the beautiful chaos of good enough English. Instead of saying, "I would like to inquire about the possibility of rescheduling," just say, "Can we change the time?" Thinking in English isn't about being fancy. It's about being understood. So let go of that inner grammar cop for a while. Let yourself sound a little messy. Another helpful tip: Practice micro conversations in your mind, not full speeches, not long answers, just short, everyday chats you might actually have. For example, "Hi, how are you?" "I'm okay. Just tired." "What did you eat?" "Pasta. It was yummy." These little imaginary dialogues prepare you for real life situations. It's like role playing, but in your head. And bonus, it helps you think faster in conversations because your brain's already rehearsed the patterns. You can even pick a character. Maybe you're in New York ordering coffee or meeting a friend at the park. Try different moods too: excited, nervous, in a rush. The more emotional variety, the better your brain locks in the language. Let's get into another trick I love. Limit your native language input. If you spend most of your day hearing and reading in your native tongue, your brain stays in that mode. So start feeding it more English: podcasts, music, movies, even your phone settings. You don't have to understand everything. The goal isn't full comprehension, it's immersion. I used to fall asleep listening to English audiobooks, even if I didn't catch every word. But over time, my brain started picking up rhythm, tone, and meaning. So ask yourself, what's one thing I can change to bring more English into my daily life? Maybe you follow English creators on social media. Maybe you watch a cooking show in English while you eat. Make English the default sound in your world. All right, let's zoom out for a moment. I want to ask you something deep. What would your life look like if you stopped translating and started thinking freely in English? Would you feel braver in conversations? More confident in interviews? Would you finally write that email without staring at Google Translate? Thinking in English isn't just about language, it's about freedom. It's about trusting yourself. And it's absolutely possible with small, consistent habits. So let's quickly recap. Start with labels. Think in single words. Narrate your day with simple sentences. Let go of perfection and embrace good enough English. Practice micro conversations in your mind. Immerse yourself in English input daily. These aren't one-time tricks, they're lifestyle shifts, little rewires for your brain. And hey, don't forget to celebrate progress. If today you labeled 10 things in English or caught yourself thinking, "I'm hungry," without translating, that's a win. That's a huge win. Before I go, I want to leave you with this question. What's one small way you'll start thinking in English today? Maybe you'll narrate your walk. Maybe you'll change your phone to English. Maybe you'll just say water instead of translating it in your head. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear. Drop it in the comments. If this episode helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell a friend who's also on this language journey. And in next week's episode, we're talking about how to build confidence when speaking with native speakers, even if you freeze up now. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for listening. You've got this. And remember, the more you think in English, the more fluent your life becomes.